Hello, welcome and welcome back. It's Jane here, and this week I'm showing you me cleaning on a Saturday morning. It's a wet day. We're not going for a hike. We've had a few weeks of wet weekends, and this weekend I'm going to be cleaning my house. My house is a tip. Currently, that's because we have a busy household. Both my husband and I work, and the child has a lot of activities which do during the week. So on this weekend, nothing much was happening, so I decided to clean the house. I think it's a cycle of life. You get busy, you neglect some things in life, such as your house, but it's always good to know some things can wait to be done. We always try to keep on top of our mental health, keep on top of our family life, and make sure the kid is looked after in terms of his activities, and make sure he's fine. We have spending family time with him, as well as make sure we are taking him to the activities that he does love to, he does enjoy, such as horse riding, his music lessons, and football. So this weekend they've gone for football, and I'm just starting in the kitchen because I feel like the kitchen and the bathroom are the two places I always need to clean. So I'll start off by putting away the dishes because there's loads of dishes washed but not put away. I will then wash the dishes in the sink and then put the dishes away, clean more dishes, and there's no use sitting here and thinking, oh, I wish I had a dishwasher. I don't own one. There's no space for it. There's no plumbing for it. So this is what it is. I've accepted what the situation is and I'm just working with it. Also, yesterday I cleaned upstairs, and so my mop is kind of damp, but that's gonna come up later in the video. For now, I'm just in the kitchen trying to navigate through the this dirty sink with dirty not clothes, dirty dishes, just so that I can start the rest of the cleaning. I have occasionally thought I should get a better dish draining board thing, but as time goes by I realize that's not the issue. Having anything different to the simple one I have will not sort the problem out. In fact, it would create me to even a bigger problem, because I feel like if I have a bigger one I'll be more tempted to leave the dishes just on the surface. In an ideal world, I would really like to have clear tabletop surfaces with nothing on it apart from the few gadgets such as the air fryer or like the kettle out. That would be the ideal, situation. But the reality of it is this has to fit in with the rest of our lives. As I said, my husband and I work full time. I love my career, he loves his career. We cannot afford not to be working. I've been a student for the last 6 years. I've got student debt to pay, and I love my career. I want to be working full time. So this is where we are, and accepting what we have is quite important for me and my own mental health. And so accepting that this is a temporary situation, one day things will change, but also actively working towards making this a more livable situation is great. And just to stress, we both clean dishes, but some things take priority, like making sure that we have cooked meals in the evening. That is more of a priority than having the dishes cleaned. So that is how we get into this situation. So next up, I'm going to be doing a meal prep. On this, the following week I was going to be doing a fruit cleanse and how I can stay on top of eating healthy meals, and especially keep to a diet is having meal preps. So I'm going to be prepping the fruit. I'm trying to tackle the fruits I already have, but I also got some fresh mangoes I got from Aldi, 69p each. So I'm going to be making that into a meal prep. But first I needed to clean the surfaces just a little bit. It's not going to be, it's just to make it clean for me to be able to do a clean, healthy meal prep with no contamination. And so I'm going to be making these smoothie cups so that the smoothies are ready to go. So in the morning I can just have my smoothies without having to prepare everything afresh. So I've got fresh mangoes, but I do also buy frozen mangoes and frozen blueberries from Costco. But when I'm making my meal prep or making my smoothie cups, I am going to be choosing the most ripe fruit from my basket and then tackling the frozen fruit. So that's kind of how I do it, and that's how we keep on top of eating healthy meals. So this, even though I'm the one on a smoothie diet, if my husband needs to have a smoothie for work, he's free to have that. I don't go like, it's my fruit cleanse week, you cannot touch my smoothie cups. He's free to go into the fridge and get the fruit smoothie cups, add water and make his smoothie. And actually he eats more fruits and he has more smoothies when things are prepared in the fridge. On this day I was also preparing some soup, batch cooking. I find it's the same as vegetables. If we have soup in the fridge or in the freezer, and know we've got a source of good fiber and for the week. So this week I was just doing carrot and butternut squash soup. And this is really good because butternut squash are good in carotene. They're high in carotene and so are the carrots. So it's quite healthy for your eyes. But they also have butternut squash is also high in vitamin C, and we're in the cold season, so I was going to. This is good for our immunity. So, but the other thing I was just noticing, I put everything on kitchen paper, and there's a lot of waste from eating healthy. And I think this is something we tend to overlook. The fact that if I was just preparing meat with some potato, this is not how much waste I would have got. And this is maybe a downside to eating this much vegetables and fruit, but for people who are able to recycle or make compost out of this is great. But I just recycle this in my green bin and it goes to the council and I think they make compost, so I'm doing my bit, but it is quite a lot of waste. I try to occasionally clean my dustbins. I do not do it regularly, but I also do not like it when they start stinking. So if it gets wet at the bottom, I will clean it. This is our compostable dustbin. It's quite small. I wish they had a bigger one. Maybe something I need to look into, but I will wash it in the sink. Because although we don't regularly wash it, it's now filthy to the extent I think it's going to contaminate the sink. And I use the same cloth I used to wash my dishes, but as soon as I'm finished washing this dustbin, it's going to go to the wash and it's washed with the rest of the cleaning cloth, and I will get a clean one for the rest of the dishes. I'll also clean the sink. I've been doing this for a while and I've never had any contamination or any outbreak of any disease, so I think we're fine. And then I am on to the front room. Now, I left the dishes draining because I like to give them a chance to drain a little bit before I dry them and then put them away. But I also want to clean the kitchen surfaces a little bit before I do the floor. So I needed a change of scenery, so I went to the front room. So I do read a bit. I also go to charity shops and buy a lot of books. So I do have quite a bit of books. I'm a book holder. I have no issue admitting that, but I also do read a bit of books. It's something that gives me a good escape. But I need to somehow contain this book. So I'm going to be taking away some of my books and putting it in a box, the books I will not be reading in the next 3-4 months. But there's still books I want to read, or the books I've read, but I know I will need to read them again in the near future. I'd already decluttered this in the spring cleaning, so I know all the books I have I want to keep, or the books I've recently purchased and I have not used them. So this is what I'm doing, bringing them down, putting them in the box, and having this space a little bit airy, which is going to tempt me to buy more books. I know of that, but also needed to clean these surfaces. Also, we are looking into moving in the near future. We've not started the process, so this is just part of that. When I clean my front room, I kind of look at it from a few points of view. The first one is dusting the surfaces, but I try to start from top to bottom. So I use this. It's not a mop. It's like I don't know what you call it. It's a flat thing, and I kind of clean the walls a little bit. I don't do a thorough cleaning with that, but it's just to keep on top of the dust on the walls. I use my mop to get the cobwebs from the ceiling, and also use the mop to clean the light fixtures. It's not a thorough job, but that's how I keep on top of the place before it becomes a damp. The other thing is that, as I mentioned, my mop was not completely dry. It was damp, it had been washed, but it was not wringing wet. I could not use it. And I'll also use the mop for the skirting boards because then I don't have to bend. And it does a good job. But I will also use like a duster on the skirting boards if I don't have the option of the mop. The only problem with that is that once I've then cleaned that room and I've mopped it, the next room I go into, I don't have access to the mop to clean the cobwebs. And so that's a problem. But on the positive, I try to remember where I did the last skirting board cleaning, and then I will start with that next time the mop is dry. So once I've cleaned the cobwebs, the walls, I've dusted, I've done the windows, the mirror, and the TV is clean, then I'll go on to clear off to clean the settee, do the tables, the small 2 tables, and then I'll put everything on the settee, and then put the settees to the middle, and then clean and mop where the settees was at, because I don't want to mop everywhere else and forget to mop under where the settees are. We live in an old house. It's a risk of getting damp and accumulation of dust and cobwebs. And the good thing about this technique is that by the time I'm finished and cleaned where the settees have been placed, the house is back in order how it should be. And so I don't have to go back and think of rearranging the settees. And my furniture is quite simple, and this is quite an intentional thing. I don't like a lot of decorations, and there's still a lot of decorations in this house. I like a very minimalistic look, which we're not there yet, but that would make cleaning much easier. And it's also a compromise between me and my husband. I can be minimalistic. I don't go shop a lot, but my husband does. But he is also entitled to live in this space and have to be able to do his shopping and do things as he wishes. So this is the compromise we've got to. If it was left down to me, I would live in a very much of a skeleton place without a lot of decorations. But I'm still a book holder, so he's allowed to have his ways, and I'm allowed to have my ways. It's just what compromise you reach when you're married to somebody or you live with somebody. That's just what it is. But as you'll notice, there's not a lot of toys. In fact, there's no toys at the moment in the front room because the child no longer plays with his toys in the front room. He does that in the back room or in his bedroom. And then we were back to the kitchen. Now, the kitchen, just looking at it from having already done an hour, it does not look like it's been cleaned at all or anything's happened to it at this point. And this is because there's so much stuff everywhere. There's the dustbin out, there's the food I was cooking, there's the dishes everywhere, the dining room table is full of stuff, and there's the laundry on the racks. Now, this is what it is. We are in autumn and the laundry racks have to be out, but I can do a little bit more with the rest. So I am going to be attempting to organize the laundry, like the dirty washing, into washing piles, and that helps me throughout the week because I only do one load a day, and I load it up in the morning and put a delay timer on the washing machine, and I take it out in the evening. And then when I take the clothes off the rack, I have to put them in the dryer in the evening because I don't want to have damp issues. As I said, I live in an old house, but as it is with each and every cold season rolls on, my washing basket is always full. I have specific days for washing specific things. Like on Fridays, I'll do the towels. And then on Saturdays, I will do the bedding. And then on Sunday, we'll make sure the school uniforms are washed. It's just how we do it. But this does not always work out. I have to make sure socks and underwear is washed. There's a load of socks and underwear every week. And it's just what it is. It's just part of living in this country living in an old house where I don't want to spend a fortune in drying my washing. So I'm back in the kitchen tackling everything, and hopefully it will be clean soon. Now, having my dining table clear gives me a great deal of satisfaction because this is where everything comes to die. My husband comes in from work and places his bag there. The child comes in from school, places the bag there. There's paperwork, it goes there. I come from work, I place my bag there. It's just a bad habit we have of piling up things on there. And so when I've got it cleared, it gives me a very good sense of satisfaction. But having it so messy, that means we don't get to eat on the dining table as a family. And that's also, the second thing is that we don't eat at the same time. My husband gets home from work before me, picks up the child, and they eat before I get home because they've got to go out to do the child's activities before I get home. So I get that. During the week, there's very minimal opportunity to eat together. But over the weekend, we should have this table clear so that we can eat together as a family. The other thing you'll notice, I changed my work bag because I've been using a small bag, but I needed to use a bigger bag because it's colder months, and I do like to have my hat, scarf, gloves, if I'm having any, in my bag so that I don't lose them. I do need a little bit, and I need these things, so I don't want to be losing them because I've spent a lot of time and effort in them, and they mean a lot when I need stuff because it's another way I used to de-stress. Yeah. And next I'm tackling the windowsill. So this window is great, gives us a lot of light. We love this window. The issue with this window is that that's another place where things come to die. So we put used batteries, keys, anything that does not belong anywhere onto the windowsill. I also do sprouting, so I sprout broccoli and beans, and so they rest on this windowsill because it's a good source of light. And so because there's so many things on the windowsill, it then becomes hard for me to clean the window, and this window gets really, really dirty. And also because it's in the kitchen and we've just come out of summer, there's a lot of fly poo on the wall, so you'll see me cleaning that away and cleaning the window itself, the windowsill, and trying to keep it as minimal as possible. I also use a diffuser with citronella, and any other essential oil is my preferred mode of having smelly stuff in the house. I don't like the synthetic smell even in the car.
watching for tonight. I was tired of cleaning. Kitchen looks, well, it doesn't look, but it smells cleaner. Work has been done, and somebody is back.